Hey everybody, it's your girl, PJamma with PJammaLyfe. And today I got the two living legends here to talk about our two new flicks and a TV show. We've got The Gray Man and Persuasion on Netflix, and by request of the fellas, we have the entire season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds to review. So let's have the guys say hello to the people. Start off with David, all things Star Wars, our professor of all things space and Star Wars. Say hey to the people.
Hello, everybody. Kapla, as they would say. I hope you devil daggets are ready to have a great night with us tonight. Get your popcorn ready, and let's get this show going.
Hey, and our second host, same as the most. That was kind of dumb, but the host with the most, Pat, say hey to the people.
You know, I'm going to follow up on what Dave said, and I wouldn't miss this for like 100 bars of gold pressed latinum right now. I'm just saying, it's going to be amazing. Good time.
Well, since they got such high praise, let's take a look at the most expensive movie in Netflix's history, The Gray Man. Take a look.
You know I know who you are. You're Sierra 6. They didn't tell you who I am, did they?
They never do. You can give me the asset you stole, and I won't have to chop your head off.
Hey, Lloyd.
Yeah, I immediately don't like you. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
You sure you're all right?
It's just another Thursday.
Okay, let's start off with me. Okay, now, I have to say, this movie was a treat for the eyes. Two of the finest men in Hollywood were in it. Ryan Gosling looking like 100% of a snack, a dish, a delectable treat. Back after we haven't seen him in years now, where he's made a movie, and Chris Evans playing the villain, playing douchebag Lloyd, but he really can't play that role. If you notice in the movie, he said one cuss word and was still kind of like charming and likable, but a terrible person. So I know he's trying to shake being Captain America, but he just seems like a nice guy. So he didn't do that. No, I just didn't believe it. But lots of action. I have only 3 complaints about the movie. 1, too long. They needed to cut a half hour out of it. 2, as Dwayne DeMarco said, that horrible stash that Chris Evans
Dude, that was the best part. Oh my God.
That was horrible. Horrible. I'm sorry. I know we have someone on here who has a beautiful stash, but his was not that. It was terrible. He looked like an insurance salesman. And I didn't quite like the use of the drone camera so much. Now, the cinematography was great, except for that, because I thought they overused it, and I didn't really like so much of that. but I like the story. It's not that hard to figure out. I like the acting. I liked all the actors in it. The new he's not new, I think, in international cinema, but Dinesh, I think that's his name, the lone wolf character. Wow, such a brown, beautiful man. And I was like, who is he? What has he been in? And now, what can I see him in the future? I'm looking for some great things from this young man. And everybody else I really enjoyed. So I know David's secret girlfriend is in it, so he'll have something to say about that. But I think it's definitely fun. I think it's the Russo brothers who did a lot of Marvel movies, especially with Chris Evans. So I think it's something that is really good and everybody can enjoy. Little too much, but I'm too much too. So why not? David, what do you think?
I really enjoyed it. A lot of fun, great action. You know, there was it pulled from a few different films in this genre, a little bit of, you know, like a male version of La Femme Nikita, a little bit. You know, there's a little bit with the kid. It reminds me of Gloria back, a wonderful movie from the 70s.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. But I loved it. You know, Captain America with the porn stash. He's fun. Ryan Gosling is good. Obviously, you know, big fan of Ana de Armas, what I consider the most wonderful export out of Cuba. But we've had enough potential Title IX violations tonight, so I won't go on any more about her. That was supposed to be funny, Pam. You can laugh at that.
Oh, I forgot one other person. Reggie Page. I think that's his name.
Yes, from Bridgerton.
Oh my God. Woo.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a movie with very handsome people in it. And
So
Billy Bob Thornton doing his best, kind of like psychotic Colonel Sanders there with the goatee and the white hair. A lot of fun. I didn't realize it was the Netflix's most expensive movie, but I get it when I see that on location. A lot of fun. Some really good dry humor. How hard is it to shoot somebody or something to that effect? I love that line there. Great movie, wonderful summer entertainment. So,
yeah, I wish it'd come out earlier though. It seems kind of late for it to come out, but I'm glad they did. I would have liked to have seen it come out like 4th of July or, you know, to be a big tent kind of movie. Pat, what'd you think?
Well, in this latest installment of the Jason Bourne trilogies, I thought it was amazing because that's what it really felt like. It was a Jason Bourne movie. And, you know, the Russo brothers do action movies spectacularly.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive movie does not surprise me. They had some big name talent. It probably takes down big name talent dollars. But it felt like just another Jason Bourne movie without Matt Damon. It was good. It was entertaining. It wasn't anything revelatory, nothing spectacular, but it was about the same as, you know, Jason Bourne 23 or whatever number we're up to now on that. But, you know, it was good. It was not great. It was good to see Chris Evans. And I want to tell you, I don't want to hear any more of that stash hate, because that stash was the best cop stash I've ever seen. I'm like, and he's doing what he can do to get out of that whole clean cut, Star Spangled Man with a Plan thing, you know, that he can do. And this is a great vehicle against, you know, hey girl, you know, Ryan Gosling as.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. You know, Sherry was like, fan herself while we're watching this, but it was good. It wasn't great. It felt too familiar to be spectacular. And I did enjoy seeing the Russo brothers. I can't remember which one of the Russo brothers at the very end when he's like being the congressman interrogating what's going on. You know, of course he's going to get a cameo because he's the new Stan Lee, I guess, but without all the great creative portions of it.
I think that's Anthony.
I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure which one of them it was, but it was good to see him in there, which made it feel like it almost felt like an Avengers movie, but without superheroes. Because you have one guy who can.
Well, the kind of action,
no. I was going to say there was totally superhero maneuvering going on because you have one guy who can just totally wax the floor with 20 highly trained operatives, like he's like wiping his butt.
Who can't shoot for shit, apparently.
Stormtroopers marksmanship, exactly. But it was okay. I mean, it wasn't spectacular. I wouldn't tell you not to watch it. It was a good fun flick, but it was just like nothing new.
I mean, but how much new can you do in these kind of movies?
Well, I have a better, a better premise at least. I mean, why do we have to have the same premise? We have a guy pulled out of prison to redeem his life, a la Femme Nikita, and he does, doesn't understand why he's so good at what he does, a la Jason Bourne. I mean, I felt like they took the past 20 years of action movies, threw in a blender, poured it out.
This is just to let you know, this is a book, and I believe it might be a series. So definitely this comes from a source material, which I'll review on my channel. And but so there is some source material that it comes from. And this is spy thrillers. I mean, this is what you get in any of these kind of spy CIA, which leads me to say, I don't know why anybody would go into the CIA except psychopaths and sociopaths. Because
don't forget megalomaniacs, because they need it too.
Somebody, I don't know who's signing up for the CIA at this point. It's kind of funny to me. I've actually met someone who was in the CIA, and I mean, I would have never guessed. And talking to him, I understood that they were completely, totally opposite of what you see in movies. But it's just interesting where Top Gun shows how naval flights. They promote naval flights. I'm like, is this what the CIA does for recruitment?
Probably.
Oh, okay. Don't come after me, CIA. So
you're on a list now.
You're on an alphabet list, Pam. It's not looking good.
I want to be on Alpha Team. Well, no, I don't. Beta Team. Nope. Delta Team. Nope.
How about Gamma Team?
Ham and cheese?
Maybe Zeta Team. Well, that's Gray Man. I think it's a little bit of a mixed review, but listen to me, it's fun. You'll enjoy it. It doesn't take much out of you. And if nothing else, for the ladies and everybody who else like fine men, you definitely getting a plethora of that. So check out The Gray Man. All right. Next up is another Jane Austen update of one of her books. This one is Persuasion. Let's take a look.
I almost got married once. And I was persuaded to give him up.
Sweetheart, it's been 7 years.
8.
You will find the one that's meant for you.
So then just be myself.
Oh no, don't do that until at least the 2nd year of marriage.
Why must everyone always assume that all women want is to be chosen by any eligible bachelor?
Because marriage is the greatest blessing that life can offer.
Where are your children?
How should I know?
I'm going to turn to David and see what he thought. What'd you think, David?
I actually really enjoyed it. Crazy Rich Snake Eyes was fantastic. The poor man's young Rick Grimes as the protagonist. I thought there was a nice little bit of uncertainty as to how it would go. But hey, everybody out there, here's a really important tip for you. If you are standing up high on any kind of stone or granite surface,
Oh my God.
and you say, I'm going to jump, catch me, don't do it. Don't do it. That's not good. It's not smart. You are
It ends
putting your life
poorly.
in someone else's hands. So do not do that. Do that on like low to the ground on a nice cushiony mat. But it was fun. I thought Dakota Johnson was did a nice job as the lead in this. A little bit of a, Jane Austen is hard for Hollywood, I think, really to kind of capture fully. But this was a fun, entertaining little rhubarb tea, if you will, to cleanse the palate.
Okay. Pat, what did you think?
Well, I was glad to see that Netflix was able to use all their Bridgerton costumes, because they obviously had a crap ton of them. They need to figure out as many period pieces as we can to make this happen. Jane Austen's great source material. I mean, it was decent, and it had more substance than Bridgerton by a long stretch.
Shut your mouth.
No, you're wrong. Okay. So.
Whatever.
It had a lot more substance than Bridgerton. I mean, it took a lot of the same paths that Bridgerton did. So I didn't feel like it was that much of a deal. It was decent. I mean, I didn't hate it. But again, it felt like Bridgerton season 3, but with better writing, perhaps. So,
and Crazy Rich Snake Eyes. That's a pretty cool thing.
And there you go. I mean, it just, like I said, better writing with Bridgerton season 3 is what it felt like to me.
Okay.
It was not bad. If I were rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say a 6.
Oh, okay. So I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was one of the better adaptations of Jane Austen. My favorite adaptation of Jane Austen was Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
Sense and Sensibility.
Awesome.
Sense and Sensibility.
I love that one. I think it was by
decent,
the
though,
same guy who did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Loved it.
Yep.
Go check those two out. Awesome.
The books are awesome.
But I think, her stories are so rich and so timeless. I mean, and so many modern takes on it. And so they actually did, I felt like, a modernized version of it with, a diverse cast. And the Dakota Johnson talking directly to the
very Fleabag,
to the camera, breaking the fourth wall, kind of. I thought that was super cute. I thought Dakota Johnson was kind of a little long in the tooth to be playing this role. And I mean, she's great, but maybe 5-7 years ago, I would have felt like it was more in her range, because there are a lot of young actresses I feel like are really charming like that could have played this role. But and one thing, the sister, that kind of turned.
She should have been Florence Pugh. She was Florence Pugh, like low rent Florence Pugh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
How great would that have been, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you love that idea. And the sister kind of turned me off a little bit because, so they have her in an interracial relationship, but she don't want to be hanging around her kids. That kind of struck me kind of wrong. I was like, okay, you don't want to hang around your black kid. I didn't like it. I didn't like that part about it. It kind of gave me the creeps. But otherwise, from that, it was great to see, what's his name? Henry Golding, and in the role, and the twist at the end with him, which I was like, that's kind of cool how they did that. So I thought it was kind of a very modern take, which might turn off some people who are thinking of the traditional kind of story. But I thought it was a fun update of this story. And I kind of like the message of, go with who you love. you only get one go around in this life. Don't let people talk you out of who you really love. So, follow your heart, as long as it's not a sociopath like Lloyd. Okay, so I think we all enjoyed it. Maybe for different reasons. So check it out. And it's something the whole family can watch. Okay, so back by popular demand of these two.
This is amazing, but keep going.
My arm is all sore for all the arm twisting that I had to endure. But here we go to take a look at the entire season of Star Trek Strange New World.
So good.
Get it done, people. We've got a planet to save before breakfast.
I love this job.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Brace for impact!
Patrick, since my arm is all sore from all the twisting I had to endure, please tell us about the entire season of Strange New Worlds.
Okay. It was, for lack of a better word, amazing. It's probably one of my favorite Star Trek iterations that they've come through. Every episode is its own self-contained episode. You don't have
that,
as opposed to Discovery, where they had an overarching season-long storyline, which I understand from a programming network makes sense because they want you to keep coming back. But the best way to do that is to make good episodes, which these are all good episodes. I suspect that Pam's dislike comes from the fact that time travel, which she just needs to move on.
No, there are other things that bother me.
and also because it's supposed to be before the original series, and the technology is obviously quite different because obviously in the 70s they made wonderful cardboard sets, which look great enough for 70s TV, but come on, we're all more sophisticated viewers at this point. The stories were spectacular. The captain had the right balance of Kirk, which is that kind of devil may care, I'm going to do my own rules thing, and Picard, where I have to follow rules to a certain point, but I need to make things happen. So the cast was spot on good. The technology made it a little weird. I understand why Pam's, perhaps without hearing her review, is perhaps a little bit has a little bit of hesitation for embracing this. I will tell you, this is one of the best Star Trek episode or Star Trek series I've seen since the beginning of Next Gen. They've got it right. Pike is perfect. The guy they cast, Anson Williams, I think his name is.
No, Anson Mount.
Anson Williams.
Anson Williams is Potsy.
I was going to say, yes, exactly. He's running for Congress. Anyway. Anson Williams, or Anson Mount was perfect as Pike. He's got the proper level of devil may care, but also I got to get shit done. And then all the people in his group, good character development, but it was all based within a single episode, which is the best thing about this. Because if I miss a week, I don't have to come back and try to figure out where we've come throughout the entire overall story arc. I'm like, oh, I just watch this episode if I wanted to. And then I come back and watch it out of sequence, and it doesn't matter because every episode was perfect. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of a big fan. I know Dave and me both pushed Pam to watch this. and I'm hoping she watched all of it because it was super good. So for me, this is one of my better.
I do my homework, man.
This. Well, I know, and I had to watch those terrible movies I watched in review just a few minutes ago for what they were worth. I wouldn't have watched them on my own, but you made me, and that's okay. But this is one of my higher thumbs up. This is one I went to bat for to review because it was that good. So here we go. I loved it. Dave, what do you think?
No, you about to get the sandwich review. So I thought
it was amazing.
Okay, there were some episodes I liked more than others. I thought there were a couple episodes that totally almost made me dislike the whole series. One, I didn't like what one of them did to their child. I was like, what? You did what? No, I just thought that was insane. And I was completely turned off by that. And then the time travel one, I was very irritated with that. And I get it as part of what's going to happen down the road needs to happen. So you needed to have that episode. So I get it. I don't mean I have to like it. And one of the characters doesn't make it. And I was like, what? No, that made me mad because I really enjoyed that character. And so it really made me mad that they made the choice that they made because that didn't make sense to me at all. So I didn't like it. And so, is it one of the better of the Star Trek series that have come out recently? Yeah, I think so. I think Paramount Plus is on to something with this one. I think Discovery's getting bogged down by their own adherence to this single storyline. I think it's kind of taken away from the fun of it and the interesting. So you get some of that fun in this series that's kind of missing in Discovery and Picard right now. Those have become pretty dark, and I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna catch me for another season. And but as long as they don't go back to the old episodes and try to redo the old episodes, or in some of the relationship with Spock and T'Pring, I'm kind of like, what? That's outside of what happened in the original series. I don't particularly care for that. So I'll stick with it another season to see where they go. But if they pull, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell both of you, I'm not watching near another show or movie that has to do with time travel for the rest of the year. So get ready. If it pops up, I ain't doing it. So
whoa. I didn't know this. No one told me there was an ultimatum episode.
This is the ultimatum episode.
Well, I'm not watching any more video episodes, so
I can't do it. I can't do any more time travel stuff. I can't burn out on time travel. The stories just become so wonky.
And I was going to recommend Doctor Who. Doctor Who's amazing.
You can watch it.
I will. Don't worry. I'll need
David and see what David thought of the entire season of.
What do you think, Dave? Come on, win.
Not the Next Generation. Strange New World. What you thinking?
Strange New World is, in my mind, the best Star Trek since the original. For me, and I enjoy all of them.
What?
I think this is
man.
No. I absolutely think it is the best. I love Captain Pike.
Not over the Next Gen.
Oh yeah, I actually do. These 10 episodes, I'm going with that. And the thing is, you got a glimpse in the original show. They used footage from the pilot that was not picked up, and you got a sense as to how fun that show would have been and how revolutionary it was.
Yeah.
In 1966.
Oh yeah.
Where Gene Roddenberry's wife played number one. Rebecca Romaine is now in that role here. They didn't like the idea of a second in command being a woman, and it was ahead of its time. He credited it. So you go back. I always thought that Pike was a compelling character, and doing this backstory is fantastic.
Amazing.
The costumes, the ship, there are some things about it. Obviously, it looks more advanced. The other shows did a great job of kind of the continuity with it, even trying to address how Klingons look like you and me, and then they look like Worf in 1979. I credit there were some good things there, but I loved it. These 10 episodes, I think, probably, and I don't think Star Trek could really ever make this claim. This is better than certainly Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
Certainly better than the Bad Batch. And I think I think it competes very well with Obi-Wan.
No.
Yeah.
And this
it did not.
Now that's taking it too
Okay,
far.
hold on. This is coming from our Star Wars. Hey, hang on. This is coming from our Star Wars.
Mute her. Mute her now, Tony. Mute her now.
About this.
Turn his thing off.
Areas of expertise.
Turn it off. Click.
You can't stop me. You can't stop me. Here we go. I really do. I think
That's
it was that good.
Entirely too far.
Dave,
and I'll tell you what, for me, the biggest reason
From
why.
Obi-Wan, come on, man. Obi-Wan was superior to this.
The thing with Obi-Wan is, and we've talked about this, it was the thing that really hurt it for me is it did not stay with canon.
This didn't either. What are you talking about?
The backstory here.
Canon. You're kidding me.
No. But for me, this was pre that. The only question I had, the Balance of Terror episode, the time travel, and I thought it was very well done. I love seeing Pike in the Wrath of Khan uniform. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do a compare contrast between those. I mean, Balance of Terror was one of maybe the best original series episode of Star Trek. I don't want to have to see a repeat of things, but I loved what they did. I love Nurse Chapel.
Yeah.
I was confused about her.
I liked T'Pring. I thought that was cool. I thought everything about this show was so much fun and so brilliant. And again, I'm not as connected to Star Trek as I am Star Wars. But again, I go back to help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope. You're not going to have that message if that really happened in the first one. Darth Vader is not going to, he fought him twice in 6 episodes. That is baloney compared to what we saw Revenge of the Sith, waiting 20 years for Star Wars.
With the Romulans and how they just saw them then. But then in the series, they hadn't seen them then. Come on, man. It was a whole bunch of canon stuff that was violated.
No, that was exactly what they did with Balance of Terror. That was exactly what they did. They hadn't seen them before.
Why didn't they just have another captain? That's kind of what bothered me. I was like, why take?
I love Anson Mount. My gosh, he was fantastic. Captain, my captain, loved it. I will say this: if you're hard pressed to say, I want to see Star Trek the way it looked in 1967, online you still can. Star Trek Continues, the best fan-made, fan-funded Star Trek or any fan fiction you've ever seen. The uniforms are the same. Great cast. Lou Ferrigno's in it. The guy that played Apollo in the original series, that the Greek god, he's back. He came in for an episode. The guy that played Gary in the second pilot, that guy,
Gary.
They're all in the Star Trek Continues. If you want to see the costumes and the sets and even the way the film was made, Patrick Doohan's son plays Scotty in that. That's amazing. But Strange New Worlds, man, this was gorgeous, fun science fiction, even with a nod to The Day the Earth Stood Still in the first episode.
Yeah.
Man, I just think this is brilliant, and it is far and away the best thing that I've watched this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of a mix, kind of review.
Really?
We didn't do mix here. This isn't too
We
mix.
say mix when one person disagrees.
Okay, when
especially when it's
somebody
me.
doesn't totally agree, but me and Dave thought this was like the shit. This is a great. I mean, we both, just for those of you viewers that are watching.
I said it had some episodes that I enjoyed,
for those
but
viewers that are
it's
just watching this,
I just don't love it.
me and Dave had to lobby for this to get included because it was so good.
No, you didn't.
Because
I
we
mean,
both
we
are
did
so
a review.
passionate. We
did a review early on, and then that usually is what we do, is do at least the first episode of a new series to get people started. But then you guys just loved it so much.
It was that good.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Thank you, Dave.
Thursdays were great.
Binged it today, and
so good.
I'm glad I'm not watching it.
Well, next season's coming up, and we can do it episode by episode. It'll be amazing.
We'll see. We'll see.
Ooh, maybe we can watch Bridgerton again. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, get ready.
Thanks, Dave.
But
Mortal
that leads
Kombat.
me to
All right.
what is going to happen in the news of entertainment. I heard our favorite movie is coming back again. Mortal Kombat 2, back again, back to get you. It is coming back with the same director and many
Oh
of the
my
same,
God, let's fix
hopefully
it that
some of
way.
the
That's a good
same
idea.
People. So get ready for
The
Mortal
next
Kombat
Citizen Kane.
2.
Hard.
2. So yeah, get ready. We'll be reviewing it. But also next week, you know, something's been getting a lot of buzz, and I think we should watch. It's called RRR. It's an international film on Netflix.
Okay.
Apparently, it's like blown up completely. And so I want us to give us a watch. And then we'll also review Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And so that is what will come up next week. August looks to be like the fantasy, sci-fi kind of month, because Rings of Power will be out. Is it August 15th? We'll definitely review that. And then I think later on in the month, is it the not Lord of the Rings, the Game of Thrones, House of Dragon is coming out soon. I think it's August too. So
Andor. We are getting Andor the end of the month.
Oh, and Andor, and that'll be out. So it's gonna be a great month. It's something's happening. Oh no, or is it well, something's happening in early September. You sent it to me, Pat, right? That's coming out. Anyway,
I can't
it's the second season of the January 6th committee, I'm hoping.
Oh
yeah.
Which was, but I got something to talk about.
That was super interesting this week. So, yeah, but definitely it's for all you fantasy fans, for all you sci-fi fans. Look for August to be a month of big time premieres coming out. We'll also cover the series of Only Murders in the Building. We'll do the whole series on that. I have a show on that coming up, which ends in a couple weeks, I think. So definitely we'll check that out. So lots of good stuff coming, and look forward to watching it with you as we do each week. So fellas, let's wrap it up and say goodnight to the people. Pat, why don't you say goodnight to the folks out there?
Good night, everybody. But just let me tell you, when we get to the Rings of Power, my nerd level is going to go from, maybe I'm going to 3 to 11, because my nerd level goes to 11 on Tolkien. I will be dissecting the canon in a way that will be painful. Just
Oh,
FYI,
wow.
everybody just because the Valar and Elrond, how do immortal people when they hit adulthood age? I'm confused already, but I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna move through it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping they don't Game of Thrones this crap. Let's just see. We'll see where we're going. I'm kind of excited because it's very vague literary canon, so there's room to work.
Yeah.
But there are certain fixed points that they can't get too crazy with, or I'm going to be like, what the hell is this? So
well,
I'm excited to it. There's a lot of stuff coming up, as you mentioned, and Comic-Con being going on this past week has brought up a lot of really cool stuff that I am super excited about. And I would also lobby for any of you that are watching out there to smack that thumbs up about Doctor Who, because Doctor Who's about to get a new doctor, and I know the central portion of Doctor Who is time travel, which I know is anathema to Pam, but it's amazing. It's a really good series, and for those of you that have not watched it, you should get into it. Start back with the Chris Eccleston and move forward. Amazing stuff. The Jodie Whittaker stuff is a little bit weak, but definitely go through the David Tennant, the Matt Smith, the Chris Eccleston. Of course, my favorite is I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart. The 12th Doctor is super awesome. Good times. You should all be watching that. If you haven't watched it, carry on. And one small little thing. We all reviewed recently the Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
The Multiverse, not the best multiverse movie this year. If you have not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, that's the best multiverse movie still. And I'm a Marvel fan hardcore. We should be watching that. If you have not watched it, you should watch it. There you go.
Should have got in before the moratorium.
And there's still things we can come in. We can still bring it in. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't seen Jamie Lee Curtis as an IRS agent, spoiler alert, it is something to see. And there are some trophies there that play a hysterical moment in the film.
Oh my God, it's such a great movie.
It is wild to see. It's a wild show.
Yo, solid.
I love Michelle Yeoh, so I might. It's got to be on streaming though. I'm not paying for it.
It's not out yet, but soon.
Maybe once it's on streaming, maybe
we can talk about it. We can talk about it
solely because of Michelle Yeoh, who is like my doppelganger in another life. I want to be her. Okay. I want to be her so bad. But David, say goodnight to the people.
Well, good night, everybody. This has been a fun show. A lot of great stuff. Pat was talking about the Comic-Con. Comic conventions and things are going everywhere. You're getting a lot with properties and movies and merchandise. Lots of fun things to hear and see about. And we'll be talking about it all and more on the next edition of PJammaLyfe.
Yeah. And so come back next week, where we dissect all things TV, movie, streaming, and whatever else we feel like talking about. So we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.
Live long and prosper.
It's live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.